Hi folks, structure of the project. So now what we need to do now, let's go to the let's navigate to the build grid for you to see the methods I'm using. I'm using material design, I'm using architecture components to handle the room, and I'm using the retrofit library, I'm using glide library, I'm using currency sign, and the main function of this library is to convert your currency and format it and add Naira sign. This is Statue library, and the main function of this is for us to check our database on our browser. It's developed by Facebook. Is to check your table to see if your database, maybe if you want to check your data on your database. So instead of using your emulator to check, you can also use this library. I will show you guys how to do that. And so the next thing is paging library, and this is for testing. So let's go straight to the structure. So the layout is not something, it's not hard. It's not hard. It's just three layouts, and this is just the layouts, and this is the splash screen. This is splash screen, and this is the main activity. This is the main activity, and this is not something that is hard. This is a collapsing toolbar, and this is the recycler view, and this is a view to notify the user that something is going on, that if I'm fetching data. And this is a horizontal dotted is a custom view. So it's a custom view, and this concept, there is this project that I come across, a project by Mitch Tabian. So he used this concept and I love it, so that is why I implemented on this project. And so that is that. There's nothing special about that. And this, let's check the Kotlin code. This is for object creation. The first one is product, because this function accept context and is return product local cache, while this one accept context but return products repo, while this one return the model view factory. And this is a class that extend application, and the main function of this class is to initialize the Statue library that I explained before. The Statue library is for you to just check. You can use this command in your browser to check your Statue library. You can just use this to check the Statue library. And this class, this is UT package, consists of two classes. This is UT, and the main function of this just is the extension. You can see this function use intent to call the merchant or the seller of the product. Why this is to sell the view to visible, set this to gone, and this function check the internet access. So we are using ping to ping this IP or domain name. And the next one is to hide the keyboard. So this hide the keyboard. This is a function. The next class is network state. It check the state of the network. If there's network, if this is the enum is the enum, what is doing is running successful. So with this data class now, I'm checking if the network is successful, and I'm checking the status. So the status, like this network, say this is the status, running, success, and failed. So now the next thing that I want us to talk about is the view. This is model for view model factory to handle the product view model, and this is a splash screen. It's a splash screen and it's delayed for 2 seconds. Then it will navigate to the product activity with animation. So the next thing is view model. So the view model now. Should I explain repo before the view model? Let's keep view model for now. My adapter, handle the so my page list adapter is a stem page list adapter. And what I'm doing here is that from here I'm getting get item based on the position, and it will return the product. So from here, if I click on the product, it will open a browser and take me to the site of the product. That is this hyperlink. This permanent link will return the link to the product if I click on it. So here I'm getting the name, I'm getting the description, and the description that was returned from our website from the REST API is in HTML format. So what I'm doing here is that I'm converting it to string so that I can set it to my short description. And this is the sale price that I said that okay, if the sale price is empty, then the sale price will be 0.00. So that is all that. This is my okay, let me explain this. These images, it accepts list of image, and the image class is a class that accepts string, which is the src. Src is a string. Why? Because okay, let me show you guys the product model. This is my model class. You can see that the images. Now you can see the images is what is a list of images, and the list of image, this is in my image class, and it accepts a string that is src, which is string. So you see, so that is the main function of this. You can see, and I look through the image and I set the src to my image view, which is string, because I want to use this with glide library. So if you are using glide with we pass the context, you will load it. So if I want to load it, you need to pass the URL. This is my URL, and I use this function, that is circle crop, that is to make a circle, and this is a placeholder, mean that if the image is not available yet, it should perform a loading. And this, for you can see, this is just the image, so image loading. So that is that. Okay, and this, what I'm doing is that if the stock status is equal to the out of stock, you should set the quantity to 0. So okay, the rating, just set the rating. Okay, so for there I'm using vbinding. If you observe, there's nothing like find v by id. I'm just using vbinding direct, so that I just call the binding and pass and call the description. You can see I just call the description direct, so I don't need to use find v by id. I'm using vbinding here, and this is product activity. So here, what I'm doing here is that okay, before I explain this, let me go to, okay, this is just the custom class that this is my custom view that handle the dotted loading this thing, the progress bar, the dotted progress bar. This is the class that handle that for me. And so the next thing, let's talk of this product DAO. Okay, let's start with my product database. This is my database, and entity, product, and the image. And from here I'm using converter. Reason is because I cannot save an object directly to my database, so because of that we need converter. So if we check my converter class, you can see this is my converter. So what I'm doing here is that I'm passing the list of int, and I'm using the JSON to convert this to JSON. So from here, from the JSON, I can now return the string. So you can see to list. So I'm using converter. I'm using this converter class help me to handle the object that I created. You can, from here you can see here that this related ID, the type is list.int, and which we cannot just do directly or with room database, so we need to convert it. The same thing applicable to this also. I need to convert it so that it can be saved to my room database. So since I've explained this, so this is DAO, and DAO, I'm just that okay, I insert the product. If it is conflict replace, so because we are using paging, the data source of the factory, this is the int and the product, and product list, and from here this is what I use for the filter to filter the product. Like for instance, now if I feel that like okay, I want to check for pH meter, you can see. So this is the function that helped me. This is the function that helped me with that. So I'm passing the string and it will search. So the next thing that I want us to talk about is product repo, and the product repo accepts the product service, and the product service is our API. These are API. These are API, the interface, and if you are using the interface, because this project is based on the Woocommerce website that is developed with WordPress using the Woocommerce REST API. REST API. So from here, this is the base URL, and for you to use this, you need to you are getting the products, and you must pass the customer key. You must pass the customer key, customer secret, page, and the per page. And the page is just okay, which page? Page 1, page 2, page 3, and this per page is the number of items you want to retrieve per page. So that is that, and this is the client that handle the timeout, and this is a logger to show just a basic. If there is any error, it will show it in our logcat. So and this function accept the product service, which is our interface, and we are calling the get product, and this get product is this get product, and we are passing the information is on fail, maybe on failure. If there is an error with our REST API, it should return the error. And if you observe, this function is accepting string, this we are using lambda, and this function also is accepting list of products. So if the response is successful, we save it, we pass it to this our function on success. So that's what this function is doing. This is the Kotlin file that handle our REST API. So this is the callback. At okay, if I try to fetch my data, if there's any error, it should notify me. And I'm doing what I'm doing here is I'm load to refresh. But if I click on refresh, it will update the whole database. So you can check. There's if I make sure that I include the comments. You can check the comments, and if you have any issue, you can just drop it in the comment below. You can see I make sure that there is a comment which is easy to that explain what each function is doing. So now the next thing is let's check we have explained this. I've explained okay. Okay, what I'm doing here is that I'm using this product local cache. The main function of it is that I want to perform some tasks on my database, and I can't just this project is based on MVVM, and I can't just my view cannot just communicate with my database directly. Do you understand? So because of that, my repo handle my REST API and also my database. So now from here you can see insert a list of products into the database on the background thread. So I'm using the executor to handle the thread for me, and it's IO thread, so that I can perform only a single task. So the function, there's a comment also on each function that explain what its function performs. So from here I'm getting all products, and from here what I'm doing here is that if you observe from here, this is get list. So I'm getting the list by default. If I execute the program, I will get the list, and I will set the list to this product list, because I use it outside of this class. So the product list I use outside of this class. So from here, what next again? I've explained this, I've explained that, I've explained this. Okay, now let's check our view model. So this is my view model. So what I'm doing here is that feeder text, or so this text, what it's doing is that it will check the query, that is the query that the user enter here. It will check the query, and so this function, because it's mutable live data, it will observe if there's any changes, and we set the name, that is the value I pass to, that is the parameter, it will set it to the feeder text or, meaning that the name, as me if I type anything I type here, it will set it to this function, and this function, we pass the value to the mutable live data. You can see that is a private, meaning that other clients cannot have access to it. So from here now, then I use this a result on the result of this is passed to the switch maps. I pass to the switch map of transformations. So now, meaning that from here now, I'm passing the live data string and I'm returning string, and this string is passed to this function get all products for feeder. And if you observe here now, the string that I'm passing here is passed to the repo, and this repo is one that handle the all products, meaning that if you can see get all product feeder, meaning that I'm passing the string and a return live data of page list products. Is return page list product. So now from here, so I've explained this, I'm getting all the products. So the next thing I want us to talk about now is this handle my network error. If there is error, I will need to pass it to this network error. And this is also, I'm using the live data, that is the products result. The product result is a live data, is a mutable live data or product result. You can see this result, product result. You can see this result, and you can see that is live data of string. So this is live data of product result. So from here now, I pass into my switch map of transformations, and because data is declared inside the product search, that is, let me click on it so that you see it. You can see data, this is my data, meaning I'm passing the product result to this, and what again, I think I've explained that. So let me explain the product activity. So here now, what we are doing here, this is V binding, and let me show the app. So you can see this is the app. So you can see this is the app. So let me explain what is going on here. This is my product adapter, and because I'm passing the context to the adapter, that's why I declare it as var. And from here you can see, from here from the concrete coming product. Okay, so from here I'm using backing scope, and the reason I'm using this because I pass the context to the adapter. That's why I'm using context. And from here, if you check the product get product list, you can see that this is my adapter. I'm passing this as a context. So, and if it is empty, this function should be called. So you can see this function, and what it's doing is not much, that okay, if it is true, so what I'm doing here is that the empty list should be visible, and this is the empty list. This function should be visible. If the list is empty, it should be visible. So I think it is gone. Why is it not showing? So okay, there is a text there. So if it is no, it should be okay. Let me mean that if the empty list is, if my the product list is no, that it is empty, then this should happen, meaning that my empty list should be visible, recycler view should be invisible, that way it should be gone, the product search view should also be gone, loading visible gone, core should be also gone, meaning that if there is no product list, my core I should not be able to call customer. So the same DS, I should perform this. So here is the action. This is a function. This is a function that handles the refresh, meaning that okay, if I swipe to refresh or I click on refresh button, let me, okay, if I click on refresh, so this handle my refresh action, meaning that if I swipe to refresh or I click on refresh view, it should perform this. Loading should be status. I should get the status, and if the status is equal to this IT status, I pass to the network state. When I pass to my network state, if is equals to this loading, then retrieving data from web service. S if the loading status is equal to the status I get from the network state, then this should be what I should display this text that okay, retrieve data from web service, please wait, and also the loading should be visible. And if status network state is loaded, meaning that the network is loaded successfully, then the refresh button should be set to false, meaning that the refresh this thing should be set to false. That if I try, you can see now it's set to false. The reason why is because there's no internet. So because my my internet is off, so that's why that is happening. And from here this is my search view, and what I'm doing here is that I'm using search view and I perform the interface, the listener, and I call the two function. I call the onQuery text submit and the onQuery text, meaning that if as I'm typing the name, it will automatically feeder the list. You can see it will feeder the list. It will feeder the list as I'm searching the product. And if you observe, most of all the name has the keywords smart. So and from here, what I'm doing here is that I'm getting the product list, I'm getting the data list, that is this list. I'm getting the result of the search view, and the result of the search view, and I make my submit list function. I pass in no, meaning that okay, my adapter should be no, that is the result should be no, meaning that okay, my list of products is no, meaning that is empty. Then now the data I'm getting from this, the feeder product, I'm now passing it to this, and from here, if the product item count is 0, then I want to set the visible. So what I want to set the build the relative layout to visible, and I will display a text that says okay, for this product and there is not much something for this product. Let me show you guys. So from here now, if I try to enter something, like you can see, unfortunately there was not much product for smart G. You understand now? So that's what I'm trying to explain, that okay, if the product item count is 0, then it should display that statement. So, and I'm hiding my keyboard, else the relative layout should be gone. And also this else also get the product list, meaning that from here now, if I click on this to cancel everything, you can say I will get the list of all products. You understand? I will get the list of all products. So that's what this function is doing. And I think that is that. Check the description, the link is there. And if you have any question, please put it in the comments below, and you are free to just play with the project. If you observe anything, just make a pull request, please, and I will really appreciate it. So thank you guys. If you have any issue, put in the comments below. The link to the project is on GitHub, so I already include the link in the description. Please play with the code. If there is any issue, please don't hesitate to make a pull request. Please, thank you, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.